How did the geography of New England affect how people lived? In the 1600s and 1700s, the Puritans were developing a large following in England. The Puritans were a new religious group. They called themselves Puritans because they wanted to purify and cleanse the Church of England. They thought the Church of England was ruined by bad practices from the Roman Catholic Church. The members of one group of these Puritans were known as the Pilgrims. They were convinced they could not fix the problems within England. In September 1620, they set sail for North America on a ship called the Mayflower. They were hoping to build a new society where they could practice their Puritan beliefs. The Pilgrims crossed the Atlantic Ocean. After getting blown far off course, they sailed around Cape Cod and found a protected part of the coast. They settled in a place they named Plymouth. There they created the Plymouth Bay Colony. Many more Puritans followed. English colonists in 1630 established the Massachusetts Bay Colony. They hoped the colony would be a model of holy Christian life for the rest of the world. Salem and Boston became two of the largest Massachusetts Bay Colony settlements. Because the settlers were English, this area came to be called New England. New England includes the areas that later became the states of Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. The geography of New England. The New England colonies had a harsh climate and rocky soil. The kind of plantation farming done in the southern colonies was impossible in New England. Instead, the colonists living in New England traded goods, fished, built ships, and became skilled craftspeople. New England was not a paradise. It had long, cold winters. The growing season was short. Much of the land was covered with thick forests. This made the land difficult to clear for farming. However, the forest provided foods like fruits and nuts. It also provided timber for building houses, ships, and tools. Many animals lived in the forests. Settlers hunted or trapped these forest animals. Native American groups in the region had mastered hunting and fishing. They also had methods for raising corn and other crops. When the settlers in Plymouth first arrived, they learned how to hunt and farm from the Native Americans. The colonists cleared the land of trees, but farming was still difficult. The soil was thin and rocky. Farmers dug so many stones out of their fields that they could build walls around their property with them. It was nearly impossible to build large plantations in New England. This was because of the hills, huge rocks, streams, and climate. Most colonists in New England were farmers who produced for themselves the goods they needed to live. The coast of Massachusetts included a large bay. Massachusetts' large bay and deep water harbors allowed it to develop thriving ocean-based businesses. In particular, fishing, shipbuilding, and whaling helped make the colony rich. In the late 1600s and early 1700s, colonists in Massachusetts began to catch whales in addition to fish. Over time, whaling became a large and successful business. Whaling provided work for many sailors. Whales were a source of food. Whale bones could be used to make a variety of useful items. Most importantly, their fat could be made into oil. Whale oil was burned for heat and light. It was also used to help machines run smoothly. The marshes, inlets, and swift-flowing streams of New England influenced what people ate and how they made a living. The rivers provided clean water for drinking, cooking, and washing and growing crops. Bodies of water also provided food, including shellfish, ocean and freshwater fish, and waterfowl such as ducks and geese. Colonists used reeds from the water for making thatched roofs. The coast of New England had many bays or areas where the land curves around a portion of the sea. Bays were important to the colonists because they provided calm harbors for anchoring, loading, and unloading ships. Many of the region's population centers emerged on bays or near the mouths of rivers to support water-based economic activities there, such as fishing, shipbuilding, and whaling. Because of New England's rocky soil, much of its land was not suitable for development. As a result, New England settlements were commonly located closer together and often had higher populations than did colonial settlements in the middle and southern colonies. Now, please use what you have just read to answer the 6 questions below.